where we have randomized Chrono Trigger. And I got Batsy here also to talk about what we're starting next week.
Yes, so this week we're playing a standard race flag seed, and next week we're going to be starting our new player program. We've had a lot of requests for things like coaching and tutorials, and well, what can I say? But that Camp Specchio is here. We're going to be starting that on July 3rd, Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And there will be some makeup times and extra sessions if you can't make it to that one. So let's dig into this race and see how this is going to go, because this is a very similar seed to the one we're going to be playing first. And if you're interested in learning this randomizer, stay tuned. Okay. Got SVJ peeking the snail stop item, and Moon Blizzard heading for the desert looting.
In the desert, there's mid-game gear, and that's what he's hoping for, to be able to get through the early fights quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And SVJ's going with the tabs and 2 early key item checks.
Yep, we'll go ahead and see what is on the Carpenter's Wife in a second. That is the free key item check. Everything else requires you to, fight something or have a character or have money. Moon Blizzard found his ethers. Ah, and looks like it was pendant on Carpenter. Marl's pendant item in Jets of Time grants access to the future, and then once you reach the future by way of Chrono's trial, it will unlock all of the sealed chests and doors for more fun gear. There's a couple of tabs in the Medina Elder's house. SVJ is going to pick those up too. Moon Blizzard is heading into Guardia Forest to do the leveling up fights. Usually we take this one with 2 imps first and grab the power tab, and then go up to the top and fight 3 of these guys. And the combination of those 2 battles will get your first 2 characters up to level 5 and their first 2 techs. Unless one of them is Magus, because he needs more tech points than the others. Oh, beautiful. Thank you for that overlay update. Okay, and St. Von Gister is finishing up his Guardia Forest fight, and Moon Blizzard's heading into the Cathedral, where he is going to pick up a 3rd character after he fights these Nagaets. Looks like we have Lightning 2 as one of Chrono's techs. I see that there are some questions in chat about Jets of Time. So this is, as you know, a Chrono Trigger randomizer. The progress is blocked chiefly by checks and key items. And by gathering characters and key items, you will eventually gather one of the 3 go modes. There are 3 ways to finish the game. So you can go through Magus's castle and then fight Lavos in the Ocean Palace. And to do that, you need to collect both pieces of the Broken Masamune as well as Frog, the character. You can also go through the Chrono lair and then fight Lavos through the Ocean Palace, and for that you'll need the Dreamstone and the Ruby Knife, and you'll also need the Gate Key, and as well as being a Go Mode item, the Gate Key opens up prehistory. The third Go Mode is Black Omen Go Mode, which requires the pendant to go to the future, and in the future, once you collect the Chrono Trigger as well as the clone, you can give them to the new in Keeper's Dome, climb Death Peak, and awaken the Black Omen. And when you go through the Black Omen, Queen Zeal will be your final boss instead. And the reason for that is balance. That's the short answer. The Black Omen Go mode would be prohibitively too long if you had to fight Lavos at the end as well. So the balance is kind of that the Zeal route makes you fight a lot of weaker bosses, and the Lavos route makes you fight fewer but more punishing bosses. And yes, as Chad is asking, do randomized seeds only have some of them? Every seed can be completed 100%. Certain go modes are generally going to be faster than others, so often it's about trying to figure out where your most efficient go mode can be. You can use that knowledge that every seed can be completed 100% to start figuring out where items may or may not be hidden.
And we can have a go mode hidden behind another go mode, as in having to go through Magus's castle to unlock something.
Yes, that is a somewhat rare case, but it is possible. It's a nobody's favorite. Okay. Moon Blizzard decided to collect Ayla from the cathedral and not finish the cathedral. If you go through it and beat Yakra in the back, you'll be able to recruit a 4th character in Guardia Castle. SVJ is at least going in. So the left side of the cathedral has this room here. There's some treasure chests, and then the drawer has the Nagaet bromide in it, which in vanilla you would trade to the dirty old man in Torino for a magic tab. In Jets of Time, you actually get one of each type of tab. Personally, in my opinion, just the speed tab alone makes it worth it.
Yeah, the speed tab makes it completely worth it, but the 2 others are nice bonus tabs.
Absolutely. Okay. And there's a tab in this room up here.
And I think SVJ is going to finish Cathedral to show us the next character.
Maybe not. He's gonna run out for now. It's possible that our runners like the party they've got. It's not necessarily a bad party as long as we can get the right techs on Chrono and Marl. And because this is a standard flag seed, magic is locked. What locked magic means is exactly the same as in vanilla, actually. It means that any character that didn't already know magic or doesn't use it, like Ayla, any of the characters who need to learn it still need to go visit Specchio. In Jets, they will learn 3 techs instead of 2 before they come upon their limit, so that's nice. But for Chrono to be a useful character, it helps to be able to find a good sword for him. It helps if he's got Confuse for some of his double techs as well as individual damage. Marl, we definitely want to see Ice 2. We want to be seeing Haste. Maybe we want to see Life 2.
Yeah, and SVJ's resetting on that Robo's ribbon because it does not provide progression, but it is a good item for Robo if you find Robo.
Correct. He's doing what a lot of players will do is save the game and peek the item on Xenon Bridge, and many players, if it's not immediate progression, will leave it there and reset and just come back and do the bridge if you find out you need it. Okay, and SVJ is heading for that future play.
To me, this is a little bit early. Not grinding up gear levels, just going straight to the future. Hopefully that Dragon Tank doesn't mess with him too much.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of Dragon Tank isn't necessarily all that dangerous to the player, but Dragon Tank is a real slog if you don't have the damage to do it quickly, and that's my worry for SVJ right now.
And Dragon Tank also has special scripts with Chrono in the party.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Moon Blizzard is going to one of the best early tech grinding dungeons.
Yes, indeed. Most of the enemy formations in Hecarim Cave give large amounts of tech points. You can get 20 to 25 from several of the battles in here. Hecarim Cave is, of course, also a pretty safe check. Hecarim himself, the boss, only has 2,100 HP.
SVJ also showing us some loot stuff to get.
Yep. Yeah, there's some alright loot in the corners of Guardia Prison. Hard for me to say sometimes if it's worth the time that you spend to grab it, but it's not bad. Moon Blizzard fighting Hecarim over on the other screen. Yeah, again, luckily Hecarim does have low HP because this could be a bit of a slog for Moon Blizzard with this party. I don't think he's particularly in danger, but again, sometimes Hecarim is the boss with the right setup that you can one-shot even at this point in the game. So when you have to chip away at him, it's never what you want to have to be doing.
Yeah, we're seeing his counterattack phase. Just wait through that and pound him again.
Mm-hmm.
His counterattack is devastating and hits the whole party.
Looks like SVJ is going to be a good guy and save Fritz from prison, or at least get the treasure. He's
trying.
He's doing this because of me, probably. Schrodinger's Fritz? Okay, there's Fritz. But no, saving Fritz from the guillotine in Guardia prison, while it does take a little bit of extra time, if Chrono is in your party, and as we can see, he is, Fritz will give you 10 free mid-ethers when you go back to his shop, and 10 free mid-ethers is really nice. Especially, we've got an early Ayla with triple kick, and triple kick costs 20 MP. A regular ether will recover 10 MP, and a mid-ether will recover 30. And that's why I like mid-ethers. Moonblizzard got the gate key, looks like, from
Ruby
Hecarim
knife.
Cave. Oh, was it the ruby knife? Okay. So he got another piece of that go mode, I'm sorry. And now he's gonna head for the future.
And Moon should have a somewhat easier time with some extra levels.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as SVJ is leaving the prison, Moon is coming into it.
And here comes Dragon Tank.
Hasting up Marl so she can haste up the other team members faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Moon with the extra levels is one-shotting the guards instead of needing 2 attacks.
Yes, indeed. In Jets of Time, it is always a really fine balance just how much you should push your party. Because, of course, as we can see, Moonblizzard is tearing through this prison. In part, he didn't go out of the way to get those extra treasures, but he does have those extra levels. He is able to one-shot the guards where SVJ wasn't able to, and he has another check under his belt as well. And it's always really interesting how Jets of Time tends to equalize these things. If you play like SVJ is playing and push your party forward, you'll probably be okay, and you might even be well rewarded for it. As soon as he gets to the future, he's going to have access to all those sealed doors and chests, some of which might have some really nice things in them. But maybe it would have been worth it to get these levels or spend this extra time doing other checks so that you'd have something else, and then you'd come back here, do it more quickly, and then have access to the future anyway.
SVJ took out the head and is now having Chrono do lightning damage because the head will take 0 damage from lightning and fire. The 2
Yes.
elements you're supposed to have for this fight.
Yep. And I feel like the note in vanilla that tells you that the dragon tank is immune to lightning and fire, it makes it sound like the entire tank is immune, but it is actually just the head. And yeah, we can see SVJ is doing fine. This dragon tank is not going to murder him, but check out the hit that Moonblizzard just got off on the head. And that's the difference. Some nice loot from there. Yep, Moon Blizzard's Dragon Tank is done.
Walk up, slap it a few times, walk out.
Mm-hmm. Final Kick is a really nice triple tech as they go. A lot of the triple techs are, more flashy than they are effective, but like Final Kick is a pretty good one.
And I personally stay away from triple techs. And that's just how I play.
Honestly, I agree for the most part. I actually think Dragon Tank is one of the few fights where sometimes your triple techs come in handy because triple techs will sometimes take something that already exists as a double tech, but change the element to shadow or something like that, and that's where it's useful.
Yeah, there are some fringe cases where it is helpful.
Yeah, it's definitely good to know them just in case. All right. We got both players in the future. And Blizzard's gonna check his treasure chests. There's sometimes some pretty decent stuff in Lab 16 and 32 and in the sewer access. Gonna see SVJ peek the Protodome character, possibly pick them up. We'll note that he very responsibly saved before entering Protodome, because as far as I know, Protodome is still a little bit buggy. I know that we fixed some of the issues with Protodome, but it can still cause soft locks. So we recommend you go in, you fight those robots, you go get the character, you hit start to name them, but don't put them in your party. Don't open the menu. Don't do any of that until you're outside.
Yeah, just go through what menus you have to go through quick.
Okay, you can do this.
Yeah, naming the character is fine.
You
But
can name him again.
Then you just want to leave as soon as you can.
Mm-hmm. And then once you're outside, where it's safe, do whatever you want with the Protodome character. He's got Cure 2, Slurp, and Water 2, which is...
Like, Water 2 is fine.
Water 2's alright, but since Chrono and Marl already have their screen clears, it's nothing special right now, it feels like.
It would help with combining it with Ice 2 for that dual tech, but...
Yeah, Glacier. Nah, with Frog... Frog is an interesting character. He's probably one of the least appreciated characters in the randomizer meta, and part of that might be that Frog is a very balanced character, and speed running is all about min-maxing, really. But, Frog, if he can learn Leap Slash, and if you can get his special equipment, so both the Hero Medal and the Grand Leon, which is the upgraded Masamune, that's the Japanese name of the sword and was renamed for clarity in Jets. If you can get his equipment, he's pretty good. But that's a lot to do. It kind of... It's not always something you want to just lean on.
Yeah, Moon finding a Mega Elixir in one of the house sealed chests.
Yeah, that's a lovely find.
And Moon is going to check out that Robo Ribbon.
Yep. We haven't seen Robo. So, yeah, that's that.
I was expecting that because the gear that the Aussie fights drop isn't always that great anymore.
It's true. One of the other reasons to take Xenon Bridge is loot, but it's not really guaranteed to be amazing. It can be pretty good, but it isn't always. Moon Blizzard has gone back into the desert, and I'm going to guess it's for some quick grinding, since with no Robo, we can't complete the check here. This is the Fiona check, of course, with Robo regrowing the forest, so he is required.
And with Ice 2, it's a really nice, quick level spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like at the beginning of Jets of Time, the monsters in the desert will chew you up and spit you out, unless you can just wipe them with water magic, which turns them into nothing. So if you happen to start with Ice 2 or Water 2, something like that, this is not a bad spot to come if you need some extra levels.
I think Moon is going after every fight in the desert.
Yeah, it looks like. I didn't see Ayla's tech list for very long, but I wonder if there's something coming up there. Or perhaps Chrono or Marl, but I would assume that they're capping out on their magic pretty soon, and Ayla does not have that restriction.
Yeah, they should either be capping out or they have capped out.
Mhm. All right, and on to Denadoro. Denadoro Mountains actually has very few required battles. This little sequence here with the goblin and then the Ogun that's about to come down the ladder are required, and then there's 2 on the next screen that you've got to fight, and after that you can avoid everything.
And SVJ found a Valkyrie in that sealed chest in Hecarim's cave.
He did, and that is why sometimes there's a benefit to going through Hecarim Cave after the future. But of course, you never know what's going to be in that chest, and you never know what Hecarim Cave's going to give you, so you can't necessarily count on that. Dodging the guy here, run up the ladders through the room.
And the loot in the chests are of the lower tier style of chests.
Yes, actually the only chests in Denadoro Mountains that are of any higher a tier than the rest of them are the ones that you have to jump off the waterfall for. Those ones are higher than the others, but not by much.
And Moon getting every skip
Yep.
and not getting that magic tab.
Today the mountains are not nice.
Oh no.
Would you like to explain the significance of that?
Moon is a major proponent of blue rock strats, where you need Robo, Magus, and Luca. And certain techs, you get a really nice screen wipe, triple tech.
That is true.
There was a tournament race where he won because he went out of his way and found that blue rock and came up from behind and won.
That is true. Although I feel like I'm duty-bound to mention that there were prism specs involved. Possibly more than one pair.
And that rock is also used for the vanilla speedrun of this game.
Yep. SVJ checking out some sealed chests. There's a magma hand. Robo nowhere to be seen to use it. Here's nice use of Final Kick on Moon Blizzard's side. Ooh, and the twins dropped a prism dress. That's really nice. That is, of course, pretty much the best piece of armor in the game. Only women can wear it, but it gives you the barrier ability as well as a lot of extra magic defense. Wonder Shot on SVJ's side. No Luca yet, but there's a Wonder Shot.
Getting these nice gear and weapons for people that we don't have yet.
Boy, this would be a great seed for Luca and Robo.
It would be. Just needed to find that crisis arm.
Mm-hmm. Alright, at the mayor's house we got a silver stud and there's a prism dress there. That's great.
And with 2 prism dresses, Son of Sun isn't as scary either.
Oh gosh, no, not at all.
Well, we are going to see who's in the burrow.
Yep, we're about to find out. It's Robo. Okay. The SVJ is starting to collect equipment and maybe is starting to wonder where he might pick up some of these characters. So we know now it's Robo in the burrow, which means that one of Luca or Magus is behind the cathedral, and the other one of them is on Dactyl Nest.
And I don't foresee Moon Blizzard using that blue rock unless if he gets Magus Go mode.
Yeah, at this point, a lot of things would have to turn up for him to be able to use that in an effective way. He has found the Prism Shard. Now, the Prism Shard, as you may remember from the vanilla game, is the gate to the King's Trials quest when Marl's father is falsely accused of stealing it. The Prism Shard quest is not all that well liked in Jets of Time. I think there are several reasons for that. One being that it forces Marl into the party when she has not been a well-liked character in the meta for quite some time. Well, I think that's starting to turn around. It also, your closest save point is outside the castle. There isn't a save inside, so you've got to go through, do the first half, find out what your item is, decide if you're resetting, and then if you don't reset, you've got to fight that boss, again, without a save point, because you can't leave the castle after you check the item. But resetting out could be dangerous as well, because the Prism Shard also blocks the Moonstone, everyone's actual least favorite quest, because you have to get the rock, you have to leave it in prehistory, you have to get it from the future, and then you have to bring it back to Melchior in the castle basement. So people don't generally like it when this line of quests comes up, but at the same time, we definitely give it a little side glance, because you never want to be the person who doesn't do Prism Shard and all the go modes were behind it, which is absolutely possible.
And when it's early and you have Marl in your party, it's not quite as bad.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. When it is early, when you have Marl in your party. That means you can do it right away, but it also means you should be aware that it could be kind of at the forefront of logic. We do have St. Von Jester going for Arisdome in the future, which is a good call. That's a fairly easy check, especially without Boss Rando on. We're just going to fight the Guardian, and there's an amazing treasure room downstairs near the Lavos computer that you've got to turn on to finish the check. So we'll see what kind of loot he gets out of there. Meanwhile, Moonblizzard is probably getting ready to do Prism Shard. It looks like he was... Ow! Sorry, my cat just jumped on me. Looks like he was getting ready to drop those pieces off and then running around Guardia Forest to help make his treasure checks a little more efficient before he goes for the shard. Right, single triple kick, taking out one of the bits.
The bits take damage from all kinds of magic, but the Guardian itself does not take damage from everything.
Yeah, the Guardian is at least immune to fire. Alright, and now that the bits are down, the Guardian can be attacked. It'll hit you with a Delta counterattack if you hit it while its friends are still alive.
Using great work of that triple tech.
Yeah, Final Kick is really nice. It's great that we're getting to see it so much. Alright, Moonblizzard heading into the basement.
We'll know the Prism Shard key item well before the other key item.
Yep. Alright, time to chase the rat. The hardest part of the game. And unfortunately, you must catch the rat every time, even if you've memorized the password from a previous playthrough, which is not the case in the factory, so kind of makes you wish you could do it in Arisdome too, but Jets of Time probably would have put the requirement in anyway so that you'd have to fight the boss.
Yeah, as much as we want to go fast and have it a free check, it's better to keep it behind a boss.
Yeah, gotta keep people on their toes. Alright, some treasure in the Guardia basement, and we're gonna get... Oh, I don't know which screen to watch, because we're gonna get a key item and we're gonna get treasure. Gate key... Oh, that was... Oh, there's the gate key. Okay. Hyper Ether, Demon Hit, Hyper Ether, Magic Tab. So, not the best Arisdome room we've ever seen.
Yeah, all the hype is on the other screen.
All
and
the hype is...
SPJ forgot to do something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he not hit the computer?
No, he did not see the
Yeah,
winners
he
of
didn't...
the race.
Yeah, so what you actually need to do to finish the Arisdome check is turn on the computer that would have allowed your characters to view the yeah, he just remembered.
Oh.
To view the video of the Day of Lavos, and actually how you'd know that you haven't is it starts playing the Chrono Trigger main theme after that, and it will keep playing until you're out of the basement. So if the music is still the, like, dreary future music and not the, like, exciting, let's do this, we got this music, you forgot to hit the computer. Meanwhile, on the left side, Marl is about to ruin thousands of gold pieces worth of antique stained glass. But they should have let her in the front, so it's not her fault. There we go. And that's a little Easter egg on the Lavos computer. those are the top 3 finishers from our last tournament, which was a ladder with a finals match last fall. And another quick reminder, if anyone is just joining us, if you'd like to learn how to play Jets of Time, we are starting a focused new player program next weekend on Sunday. And if you join our Discord and check out the Camp Specchio channel, you can get all of that information. Yakra 13 down. And since Moon Blizzard also now has a gate key, I'm guessing that magic is what's happening pretty soon here. And this is why people get nervous with the Prism Shard, to be honest. We see St. Von Jester on the right side taking on Son of Sun. But with the Prism Shard, you can do all that stuff I described earlier, and it could be nothing. It could be 0 progress, and that's what everyone's afraid of. But you're equally afraid of the situation we have now, where the Prism Shard was the gate key, and everyone always wants the gate key.
The gate key is the best way to unlock magic. Otherwise, you have to go through factory.
Indeed, and factory is definitely slower. Now, the big thing about factory is what makes factory quicker, relatively so, is a light elemental screen wipe. And this party's got that. So if St. Von Jester doesn't want to do Prism Shard but wants magic, it's not necessarily going to take him that long to get through there. Yeah, the cutscenes in Prism Shard are pretty nasty too, and we've cut out a lot of what we can, but there's only so much we can do, I think. I am not, disclaimer, I am not one of the devs, but Chrono Trigger is apparently a little bit of a pain to hack, more so than a lot of other games on this SNES, and understandably, you know, just having this randomizer feels like a miracle, so they do what they'll do, and I am grateful for it. It's like Son of Sun got some good hits in on SVJ there. Another shuffle.
Yeah, and you do
That
not
flare's
have much
gonna...
time at all after the shuffle before the flare.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I didn't see what level SVJ is at. Son of Sun is a pretty high level boss spot. You know, obviously, once you've discovered the trick to Son of Sun, it's not too hard to deal damage, but meanwhile, Son of Sun will continue dealing pretty heavy damage to your party. So most people prefer having some kind of fire protection if possible, magic defense protection if that's not possible. And I would say barring that, I feel safe at Son of Sun without special gear around level 20.
I look at my speed more than gear at times, or more than
Yeah,
levels.
that's fair too. I mean, being able to get off all of the hits.
And having hasted characters does get you to get more hits in.
It does. Haste is a spell, you'd think that haste is always useful in a speedrun, but you have to consider that some bosses can go down quite quickly, and haste takes time to cast. So there are definitely times when haste isn't particularly useful, and I think there are more times when you shouldn't use haste than people would want to think, but I think Son of Sun is a great time to be hasted up.
Yeah,
Especially...
and
Go
you
ahead.
cannot find the correct one until the shuffle, so you have a little bit of setup for your party.
Yes, that is true. Son of Sun must shuffle once. Before that, there is no correct flare. And I've heard people talking about that might have to do with the fact that we took one of the flares away for jets, but either way, you do need to wait for that first shuffle. And you can get a couple people hasted in that time, no problem. Alright, let's see what this holds. It's the Grand Leon. And St. Von Jester is apparently pretty insulted by that. Although, given that he'd already finished the fight, I would have not reset out, because you do still get experience and tech points and stuff.
Right, I would have kept it. Maybe think of Frog because of the whole drop kick thing.
Mm-hmm.
But SVJ doesn't know where the gate key is, and
Yeah.
I don't think he likes going through a factory to get magic.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, it's true. Not knowing where that gate key is. We know that I think we know that Frog has Leap Slash next. And Leap Slash is one of the things with a Grand Leon, and especially also with a hero medal, but even just with the sword. Leap Slash makes Frog a lot more useful than base. And yeah, he is on Denadoro now, and if he finishes this, we'll pick up the Prism Shard, so we'll see how he feels about following the Prism Shard. Moon Blizzard is heading over to Genodome, so Moon Blizzard's ready for big plays, looks like.
Yeah, he is. This is one of the longer dungeons for a key item.
Yes, this one and Mount Woe are kind of the what people think of as the nasty, difficult, high-level, long checks in Jets of Time. The flip side to that is great experience point and tech point yields and great treasure. So it's a gamble, but it can really pay off. We'll see what happens.
And for Genodome, I look at my screen clear tax,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're strong enough, then I'll think of coming in.
Yeah, especially since you have to fight this conveyor belt at the beginning, with no menuing in between. Strong screen clears, especially on a character that maybe doesn't need to expend a lot of MP to use them, is a huge, huge help.
This does really help with this part. Then after this, the enemies gain about 20% more hit.
Yeah, they are stronger. The ones inside the dome are stronger.
Yeah, it goes from like 600 to 1,000 hit points.
Yes. SVJ getting his blue rock, and he knows he's racing Moon Blizzard, so I'm sure he just had some feelings. So let's all think some kind thoughts for SVJ. even though Moon Blizzard is not currently running with Blue Rock Strike.
SVJ might know that the Blue Rock people are locked behind several things too.
It's true. He's now, is Moon Blizzard the one that peaked the burrow?
SVJ peaked the
SVJ.
burrow.
Okay, so he knows. Yeah, he knows Robo's there.
And Cube Toss would take out these enemies back here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe most of these little enemies have. I think their HP is 1,024 because they're like computerized enemies, so they don't have 1,000. They have an actual like mega number of
The actual bit number.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for.
And with Marl and Chrono being as fast as they are, this is not a bad strat to get through this.
No, this works. Like, as long as he's gonna start running into those laser sentries, which are very fast and can turn very deadly, but as long as he can get his attacks off before they can, he's gonna be fine. Comment in chat that it feels like Moon's a bit ahead at the moment, but it's hard to tell with this rando. I'd agree with that. Moon Blizzard has completed more checks, so at this point he's kind of got a better chance of finding his go mode given that. But again, you never know.
And I like to use the word advantage. Like,
yeah, that's a better way to put it. SVJ gonna pick up his Prism Shard, and then we will see what he decides to do with it. Moon Blizzard doing the nice two-door thing, and then he's probably going to be going for conveyor belt skips soon, but may or may not clean out some enemies and get some treasure first. So you can do the conveyor belt in Genodome without reversing it, but it's very tricky. It's a very narrow window, something like 6 or 7 frames is what everybody says. I don't know if that's been measured, but these little enemies, if you run into them, you'll mess it up too. So I think that's probably why Moon Blizzard is clearing up that formation.
Yeah, and if you're not completely sure about your route, clear out the enemies and even open that door when you do the skip.
Yep, Saint Von Jester is chasing the Prism Shard as he just showed it to the King of Guardia. So interesting point. Normally you would show the like piece of the shell to the King of Guardia way after the Xenon Bridge sequence takes place in the game. So if the king is upstairs and injured, you've got to go all the way up there to show him the piece of the shell so that you can activate the Prism Shard quest in 1000 AD. You can't just walk into the castle there. You do need to set it up in 600. But the king, even though you have to walk further, he is still there, and he'll do what you need him to do. So if you've set up Xenon and haven't done it, no worries, you didn't break anything. Nice little thing that the dev team thought of.
And Moon is not doing the conveyor skip. He
No.
went up to the next level and clearing out the enemies and going to reverse it.
Yeah, no, a lot of people do conveyor skip. Like I can't do it, or I have not yet been able to do it. My hands cramp up pretty badly when I try, and Moon Blizzard has expressed that he's not like 100% on it. So he might feel right now that if he doesn't feel super confident that he can get it like first try or like second try, it's better to go upstairs. I think you need to get it like second try for it to have save time. Something like that.
I think second or third.
Yeah, not more than that.
Yeah. And no matter what, you have to go up the escalator to flip that switch to open up that little door thing.
Mm-hmm. But if it makes anyone feel any better, you know, Moon Blizzard is absolutely one of our top runners, one of our very top runners, and this is a really hard trick. Not everyone can do the Genodome trick reliably. And the thing to do if you can't is, I mean, I guess A, keep practicing the skip, and B, route your dome so that it's as efficient as possible. Of course, that doesn't account for that stupid robot.
Yeah, this robot, his line of sight is not straight for
Yep.
whatever reason.
Yeah, luckily you can leave him on that little corner right here and do this nifty little trick. You run up, go over here. There's this speed tab that will spawn under the doll once you get far away from it. And then you come back into this room, and there he is! And I think it's because the robot can go through objects, but not walls, whereas your party can go through neither. So you can sort of trick him through an object. And welcome! This is a Chrono Trigger randomizer. This is Jets of Time. And I'm going to talk a little more about the program we're putting together at the end of the run, but we're actually starting our new player program that we're calling Camp Specchio, because it's summer, right? And that's starting next weekend on Sunday, and we're going to be teaching most of the really popular flag sets, including this one. This is basic race flags. Basically, it's for people who, whether you want to just be able to play it casually or if you want to get tournament ready, this is for you. And yeah, this is the first time we've been on SpeedGaming in a while, I think, but I don't think this is the first. It's certainly not the first video that race that we've done on SpeedGaming. We're happy to be back, though. But yeah, anyone who would like to play this randomizer, would like to learn this randomizer, please join our Discord. Everyone is very friendly. Again, we're starting a program to help new players get up to speed. We'd love to have you. SVJ finishing up his Yakra 13 fight. I'm certainly glad for him that he decided to chase the Prism Shard. For anyone that missed it, the gate key is on the Prism Shard, and the gate key leads to magic and prehistory, and is generally a pretty desirable find, even if you don't use that go mode. And there's Falcon Hit. Everyone's favorite way to clear the elevator in the Black Omen, and a beloved member of our community.
And Moon is going to be fighting Mother Brain.
Yes, and that means you need to get your save or kill the animal donation. No, I'm kidding, but but yes, Mother Brain probably was just a nod to Metroid.
No, she's the brains of the whole factory and the mother of the robots.
Indeed.
And in this fight, you want to take out 2 of the panels, but leave 1, so she doesn't go into angry boss mode and kill everyone.
Indeed. She goes berserk if you kill all of her little back panels. The only... Well, this isn't... It's not exactly a good thing, but the backup strat is that she does have very low HP. So if you do accidentally make her go berserk or something, you do have some time to get her because there's a decent chance she'll die before you do. But you still got to be on your toes. Ooh, and Moon Blizzard has found the Moonstone. Is he gonna turn it in? That's what I want to know. Or is he gonna go to Mount Woe?
Well, he could turn it in.
Yeah, he's done. He's done with Prism Shard.
He just didn't go back far enough.
Yep, dropping off the stone.
Yeah,
His-
since they already did that part of the quest, I would check what this is too.
Mhm. Okay, SVJ is gonna pick up his magic. So everybody think magic.
And with this randomizer, with the random key items, we see frog speculo a lot more too.
That's true. Still a bit of a rare occurrence, but if you get your gate key really early and you get to the end of time before that level threshold, you might in fact see little baby frog Speckio. Alright, let's see what's on this moonstone. No one going for the fight with Speckio, which is probably the way to go. You know, he gives you like ethers and a magic tab, and that's not horrible, but it's a Thomas Pop on the Moonstone, and the Thomas Pop will open up Giant's Claw, another check.
We heard you like traveling through time. Here's a time travel fetch quest.
Yes.
Pour one out for the old adventurer, Toma.
Yep. As St. Von Jester hits Reptite Lair, which is opened up by the gate key. Didn't go for a secret tunnel, though.
Yeah, I don't think he even tried.
Yeah, some people like to wait around to see if they can get a good secret tunnel dig. I usually give it about a minute. Like I look at my clock when I come in and just like allow myself 1 minute, 60 seconds. There can be some super good treasure in the like alternate holes in Reptite Lair, but you don't always want to wait around for the holes to appear. Yep, Moon Blizzard is pretty committed to his breadcrumbs right now. So into Giant's Claw, which is of course the Tyranno lair from prehistory, but fossilized.
And if I got those items like Moon Blizzard did, I would be doing the same thing.
I think I would too.
Just following that progression until it ends.
Yep. And, with regard to Giant's Claw, those purple lizards he just ran into are the one unavoidable fight. Everything else in here can be avoided or skipped.
Yeah, I heard there's rumors of more fights in here. I have yet to see them.
Oh, there's like this one that I've gotten, once or twice, but other than that.
Yeah, there's one in there that I get once in a while just hitting the wrong button.
Yeah. Those buttons have obnoxious hitboxes, both here and in Tyranno Lair. So it's kind of easy to step on the wrong button. Like, a lot easier than you would think, honestly. It's almost too bad Moon Blizzard already has the blue rock, because I would have liked to see if he went for that rock chest, which is the one he just skipped. Right, SVJ is fighting Nizbel, who can be made easier by shocking him, which is what's going on. Hit him with lightning and he won't do anything for a couple turns. But then he will use electric energy on you.
Yeah, Nizbel has two scripts, one for being shocked, and then the other one is when he's not shocked.
Indeed.
The easier one is when he is shocked.
Yes. That said, this is a randomizer. You will absolutely not always have lightning, but Nizbel's HP isn't that high, and if you've got decent magic damage, I mean, he's got like 4,500 to 5,000 HP. With a magic tech or dual tech that can do 1 to 2,000. He still won't last that long. You just have to be more careful and heal a lot more, because he dishes out the damage fairly quickly.
In the vanilla speed run, some of them go into the Nizbel fight with Berserk Ayla.
Mm-hmm.
Shock and just hoping for the crits.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Dreamstone. Oh. So that means we're in no mode. Which is to say, everyone watching the race knows where that go mode is.
SVJ has the ruby knife.
Oh, so he is in go mode now, yes.
But Moon could get a different go mode.
Yeah, it's possible.
Like the other piece of the broken sword. Or find the clone and trigger.
And Jerky.
Uh,
Jerky being, of course, the biggest, like, dead-end item.
yeah.
But sometimes... But you do get to turn it in, and you do get a prize, and sometimes that prize is a pretty good item. So, you know, after you get the jerky, you try to pick yourself back up and hope that you're getting something your team can use. Like, a rainbow would be lovely, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing.
Let's see if I can manifest another rainbow for somebody. And yeah, absolutely. Now that St. Von Jester has found Go mode, he's flipped it. You know, Moon Blizzard has done more checks, and that sort of does grant advantage, quote unquote, but Go mode is Go mode, and with several of them, it's hard to say.
The Moon Blizzard, even with that level advantage, might catch up. Or he might not catch up, depending on how many different checks he does.
Yeah, we will see. It's going to get really interesting because typically the person who doesn't get Go mode first will close the gap a little bit, and that's usually because of their extra levels and equipment that they got doing those checks. But, you know, will it be enough? That's always the question. And Moon Blizzard is very good, very fast. He absolutely can turn this around. But I'd really like to see if SVJ can pull this off.
SVJ taking this fight here to try to level up a little bit more before the next boss fight.
Indeed. So SVJ is going to be fighting, well, first he's going to be fighting Nizbel too, but then he's going to be fighting, you know, kind of the sub-big bad of the seed, which is Black Tyranno, which can be a pretty dangerous fight, depending on how that goes. Right? Moon Blizzard hitting up that sadly disappointing treasure room. You hate to see it. We want to see good stuff in the treasure rooms. We want to see, like, wonder shots and rainbows and gold studs. We can get hyper ethers, like, wherever. SVJ doing a good job in the jumpy room in Tyranno Lair. However, if you don't know how to navigate that room, you can enter the room and kind of run and hold up left, and you'll just go straight through it, and it won't zip you back and forth or anything. Blizzard picking up that Chrono trigger. Okay. I was wondering if Moon Blizzard was going to go for Mount Woe, and it felt like he thought about it, because you can hold your shoulder buttons down until your little thing, your little clock hand hits the correct time period, and it looked to me like he hesitated on the Dark Ages for just a second, but then probably remembered he could do Reptile Lair. And I'm sure he feels behind right now. You know, a lot of people will say, like, well, okay, if you're over an hour into the seed and you haven't seen Go Mode yet, you start worrying. Even though, to be honest, that happens all the time. But you still worry that somebody else has it. So I'm sure he's just gonna zoom through here. Yeah, SVJ having some fun on the Tyranno Lair balcony. There's a ton of hidden fights there. That one he just got into at the door can be skipped. That one's pretty tricky, though. Some people call that one the trickiest skip in the game, and, you know, that's obviously objective, but it's definitely a candidate. You need to glance off the door at just the right pixel. You can line yourself up at that little, like, balcony on the bottom, but you also need to hit your A button as you're going into the door, and the timing is, like, really strange because there's no like feedback from hitting the button, so you just kind of have to hope you're hitting it at the right time.
Yeah, and of all of the skips there, that is the one I mess up constantly.
Mm-hmm. We might be getting some, like, a bit of a, not quite twin Nizbels, but the Nizbel brothers or something. Moon Blizzard just hitting Nizbel with Slash, because Slash is, in fact, a light elemental attack, so that will shock him. And then that nice cube toss. Now see, that damage, that's already like half of Nizbel's HP. This is gonna go pretty quick. And then a final kick, because swag, right? Then over here with St. Von Jester fighting Nizbel 2. Nizbel 2 is similar in that he can be shocked, but the shock doesn't take his turns away like it does the first version. It does lower his defense to physical attacks. And he still will unleash the electrical energy at the end. So honestly, Nizbel 2 is one where it's like if you have a lot of strong magic, but you don't have lightning, you might just ignore the lightning. Or, you know, maybe you have lightning, but like if you've got strong magic, there's not necessarily a reason to invite all those counterattacks if you can just whittle him down. Hey, Moon Blizzard doing some extra shopping. He remembered where the ethers were. And yes, so we are watching Chrono Trigger Jets of Time, which is a randomizer, and a randomizer in itself is a ROM hack, so this is in fact a hack. Alright, there's Nizbel 2 down on SVJ's side. About 118 into the run. Moon Blizzard is doing some equipment checking and I think getting a couple extra revives and shelters from Melchior at the fair, who, by the way, in Jets of Time will always have revives and shelters, along with a mid-tier weapon for all characters but Ayla and Magus. Not Ayla because she doesn't use weapons, and Magus because he's an endgame character, so all of his weapons are above mid-tier. These are actually, these tiers are defined within Jets of Time and have certain pieces of equipment in them, and that's part of how treasure chests know what to give you. Like, each treasure chest has a level too.
Yeah, now it's a race. Both
Yep.
in the same final dungeon. That was a nice skip there on SVJ's side.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it's there, but since no fat dinosaurs fell out of the sky, he got it. And here we
Moon
go.
is going to run from everything he can just to make up time.
Mm-hmm. SVJ starting with Azala and Black Tyranno. Haste is a great start here. So, probably anyone who's familiar with Chrono Trigger remembers this fight. But what's going to happen here is first SVJ is going to take out Azala, because taking her out of the picture will bring Black Tyranno into his phase where he drops his defense much more quickly. If you leave Azala there, he'll drop his defense sooner or later, but then you still have Azala to deal with, so don't do that. Once Black Tyranno drops his defense, he will count down from 5, and when he reaches 0, he will hit you with some nasty elemental breath. And since this is a randomizer, he's going to hit you with nasty randomized elemental breath. Yeah, we've seen that it's lightning because sometimes if you leave Azala up enough, you'll see Black Tyranno use an attack that will give it away. So that is at least helpful. I don't think we've seen a lot of white gear though, like white gear that would soak lightning damage, and obviously you'd have to reset to put it on at this point. So it's one of those, well, if you lose, you can put some on. But once Black Tyranno begins its countdown, SVJ is going to want to deal as much damage as he can to that thing before that attack goes off. He does have prism dresses, and the prism dresses mean that that attack is probably not going to wipe his party, but it still means you're not going to have a fun time. The other little nugget is that Black Tyranno is one of the few bosses that in normal race flags has randomized hit points. The other one is Magus. So Black Tyranno can be, and I'm sure Mian will remind me, but it's something like between 8,000 and 13,000 hit points or something. I believe he had 10,000 in vanilla. So this one can be kind of a nail biter because you don't necessarily know when this thing's going down. You can count your damage, but and you can like know. See, it's already dead. That thing didn't last long. It must have rolled pretty low.
Yeah, I think it rolled around 8 or 10,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
So with yeah.
And it dropped a gold stud.
Yeah, that thing dropped a lot of nice things. So I'm sure he's pretty happy about that. That low roll is going to be really helpful because honestly, Black Tyranno with a high roll is terrifying. You don't want to eat that hit, even if it's just a time waster. You just don't want to eat that hit. And Blizzard's going to use that save point that you can pop up. You just need to be careful with the buttons on the floor.
And you can reset your line by going into that mouth on the upper
Yep.
part too.
Yeah. If you don't do that, there is a decent enough chance that you'll hit one of the buttons and drop some dinosaurs that you then have to run away from. Well, or you could fight them, but this is a speedrun. And it's true. Ritherix in chat points out that SVJ could have used potentially Tailspin to pierce Black Tyranno's resistances, as Tailspin ignores defenses. Yeah, so it has been 6 minutes since SVJ finished Nizbel 2. About 6 minutes, and in that time, Moon Blizzard has gotten through the entire Tyranno lair. And we're going to see what's in the new shop. So this new shop is one of the 2 best quality shops in the game. The other one is the new one, the Black Omen. This shop is guaranteed to have amulets because status protection is pretty important against Lavos. There's a free amulet if you pick up Magus, which we haven't. So I'm guessing SVJ probably wants at least 1 amulet. There are some other pieces of equipment that do protect from status effects, but I don't know that we've seen any. You know, vigil hats, prism helms,
Nova armor.
Nova armor, yeah, that's the other big one. Not picking up the speed tab, I don't think, unless he got it earlier. But there's a
No, he did
speed
not
tab.
pick that up.
Yeah, there's a speed tab up in the corner room. And Blizzard's Black Tyranno is done. Now, it'll be interesting. SVJ likes to grind pretty high in the Ocean Palace, so next he opens his menu. Let's try to get a glimpse at what level he's at.
Level 24.
24, okay. So, he likes to grind, I mean, probably at least to 30 and maybe to 32. And I think he's gonna have to, if he wants to still win against Moon Blizzard, I think he's gonna have to not spend a lot of time in the grind spot at the Ocean Palace. There's a spot in there that we just all call quote unquote the grind spot. It has like frickin' 2400 XP and 80 TP on it, I think, that fight, and it's repeatable. So when you're on the Lavos path, that's where we suggest you grind if you're not going to be strong enough for Lavos.
And SVJ got Orbs of Death from Golem.
Yep. And Moon is just nipping at his heels. Moon Blizzard's going to come get the speed tab. Anyway, that's where that is. Yeah, so with a golem, that's unfortunate. So golems have these very specific attack scripts, and they have a mode based on every type of damage, basically. So I think physical and non-elemental is the same thing in terms of golem. It's not always, but in terms of golem it is. And then
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, and then the 4 elements. And they are weak to status effects, except for Confuse. And I'm not actually sure if SVJ was trying to hit it with Marl's weapon in order to land a status effect that wasn't working, maybe. A lot of us forget that Chaos, which is Confuse, is the one that doesn't work. But I think that's what he was trying to do, was freeze it before it could do anything to him. Golems can be put to sleep, they can be stopped, just everything except Chaos. That said, there are some fairly safe ways to do it. So what SVJ is doing is, because Golem has very specific scripts on each element, what he was doing was getting killed by the second physical attack. The first is Iron Orb, which always cuts you in half. The second is always those, like, really rude orange bright orbs. I don't know. They do way too much damage. You don't want to get hit by that, like, ever. So, that's his physical pattern. His shadow pattern, the first thing he'll do is hit the entire party with laser spin. And his lightning pattern, the first thing he'll do is hit your entire party with, like, the lightning release, kind of like Nizbel does. But if you leave Golem on fire or ice, his first attack will only be fire 1 or ice 1. And that's the trick, is to continually reset him to fire or ice, and it's pretty safe as long as you can do that. And then in between that, you can do whatever you want, just leave him on fire or ice before his turn, because you're not going to take away his turn. You're going to have to eat something. Right, SVJ has descended into Ocean Palace. And Ayla just got a taste of her own medicine. Sadly. This is definitely a fight that it's probably better to just run from.
It
Those,
is much better to run from.
Yeah.
Unless if you can one-shot the one on the right and then do the same to the one on the left.
Mm-hmm. You still can't screen wipe them without, like, Fire Whirl. The good Fire Whirl. The good Fire Whirl, for anyone who doesn't know, is the Luca Ayla Fire Whirl. The Luca Chrono Fire Whirl is the bad one. Because Fire 2 and Tailspin is pretty darn good. Flame Toss and Cyclone, not so much.
And with targetable Tailspin that ignores defense, makes it even better.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so those pesky Bargus shields, Bargus shield what? You don't always have the chance to use that strategy, but it's good if you can. And yeah, Moon Blizzard is catching up very quickly. St. Von Jester has just fought his first battle at what we call the grind spot. It's that fight. He just learned Falcon Hit, which this really illustrates the difference in how much they've done, because I know I called it out earlier when Moon Blizzard learned Falcon Hit, and that was a while ago.
And Moon is at level 30, so I'm gonna assume he's not gonna grind at all.
Yeah, I would assume the same. Moon Blizzard, I think, will generally not grind as long as he's like level 26 or something.
Yeah, 26, 27, that's where he'll continue on from the grind spots.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so it might be about to happen. I think the race might be about to flip back. But also, note, Falcon Hit is fantastic. SVJ putting it to great use at the grind spot there. Oh, Moon isn't even taking the fight. He's just going. Gonna fight those guys, though. The guys on the stairs, you can get under them if you're really, really precise. We named it the Cthulhu Skip after Cthulhu Crisis. But, as long as you hit one, you kind of may as well hit them all. Although if you're gonna run away, it probably doesn't matter. He probably could have just run away. But yeah, he's... So what Moon Blizzard is doing now is he is both sneaking through this this formation of enemies, but they caught him. But he's also letting Ayla get hit by this statue that shoots fireballs, and that's because Ayla has a tech, Dino Tail, that does more damage the lower her HP is, that's very useful in a really nasty spot coming up. The only thing, unfortunately, Moon Blizzard's got that slow Omnichrome. That always happens to me too, and I hate it. But the thing is, he may have forgotten that he has Falcon Hit, and Falcon Hit is so good for that elevator. That's probably the way to play it. And yes, if we wanted spicy hot action at the grind spot, as in chat, we would like to have Luca, but sadly nobody found her. I'm sure our players would love if she was here. Yeah, and Moon Blizzard, he did learn Falcon Hit, but it's been a while. It's... When you're playing these randomizers and when you're racing, it's almost like you're trying to keep only the information that is just immediately necessary at the forefront of your brain, because it's very easy to get, like, frustrated and freaked out, and then you just destroy everything because, you know, you're not playing right. So while Falcon Hit would probably have been the better strategy, it is possible and completely understandable if he just forgot that he has it, because it's been a while. Falcon Hit is also powered up a little bit in Jets of Time. I think it hits the whole screen now, and not just a little line. Ayla has finally used Charm. Some players really like to lean on Charm. I mean, since everything is randomized, a lot of the bosses have pretty good loot, but it doesn't help when you learn it at the 11th hour. We're going to see the Dino Tail here on Moonblizzard's side. This fight with the Scouters, those little guys will normally only take damage from magic of their color. They will also take physical damage, but their defense is quite high. So we abuse often Dino Tail or Frog Squash with Frog, which works the exact same way, to take them all out in one hit, where you don't have to mess with using like 3 different elements or anything like that. And SVJ is still grinding. He is gonna be quite powerful, and I would imagine that Lavos and the twin boss fight won't be too much of an issue for him. But of course, Moonblizzard is getting further and further ahead. With some fabulous scout skips and power tab in the last chest, Moonblizzard will save and shelter and come up on fighting these twin golems. Alright, SVJ taken off. And I will remind everyone watching once again that the Jets of Time community, we are launching a new player tutorial program starting next weekend. So stick around till the end of the stream and I will give you all the details, but also join our Discord because the details will also be in there.
Dude, that Falcon Hit is doing some great damage for SVJ right now.
That Falcon Hit is fantastic. There we go. Moonblizzard landed a nice stop on the golems with Marl's weapon there.
Yeah, that is very nice and very lucky.
Question in chat about Green Dreams and Re-Raise. I haven't seen anyone use Re-Raise. There was a Green Dream on... I don't remember what boss it was anymore. But there was one. I remember going, hey, a Green Dream. Yeah, speaking of Re-Raise, Re-Raise is a tech that we've given to Marl. So the thing about Marl, a lot of people like Marl in vanilla because she's the healer, and she does kind of, you know, level up with the party in terms of the strength of her healing. With her techs randomized, her tech list is nothing to write home about, and because she can be kind of a weak character, we've been looking at making some changes to Marl so that she'll be a little more liked in the meta. And I mean, I've been enjoying using her a little more often than I usually do, so I think it's working. But one of the things that she got was the spell Cure was turned into Re-Raise, which has the Green Dream effect on it. So it gives you a status effect where if you're knocked out in battle, you will be revived once. Ooh, and the golems dropped a sunshades.
And Mario learned re-raise.
Yep. And the other thing we changed on Marl is that her speed went up to 9 because it was suggested in fairness. So Luca and Robo in Jets of Time start with a speed of 8. They both actually have a speed of 6 in vanilla, which is freaking terrible. And so they were bumped up to 8, which is totally reasonable. And then, what with Marl being at the kind of the bottom of the meta, I actually just said, well, what if she's faster than those two again, because she's supposed to be. And so she is now, and honestly, she's a little better. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Marl's always been my least favorite character in this game, but, like, I am nowhere near as, like, aggressively against her as I used to be. So, I like what the meta has done for her recently. The other thing that's been changed about Marl, although this isn't a recent change, is that her Cure 2 spell also has been given a status curing effect. Alright, St. Von Jester has cleared the scout buttons and the elevator, and he's coming up on his twin fight. Moonblizzard has begun his first Lavos fight, and that obstacle going off looks like it is sleep. And that obstacle spell is the first of many reasons we like to have at least one character wearing an amulet, or otherwise have status protection during the final battle. Final kick, lovely as always. Alright, and Moonblizzard is through Lavos Phase 1.
And any time that you're on Lavos when Moon is done is a good race.
Indeed. No, Moonblizzard is very good at this. You see SVJ was waiting for both of those iron orbs to go off, and that is so that he made sure that the golems took their turns before he set them into water, because he knew that the iron orbs would be safe, but the crazy lit up orbs that follow would not be safe. And that final kick was enough to take out one of the arms. So with the second phase of Lavos, the battle kind of has two parts, with the arms and without the arms. And while the arms are up, well, the first thing he'll do is launch those nasty blades at your characters, and those can do a lot of damage. luckily, Ayla took the hit like a champ, but she didn't take the next hit like a champ, and neither did Marl. So as you can see, actually, it's pretty important to get those arms down as fast as you can. And I would even say, if you are not just super, super, super confident you can get those arms down before they hit you, you need to go defensive, because that's the way you gotta get through. Because as you can see now, that arm is like casting things like stop. I think Marl is protected from stop, so that's good. But again, it will do all kinds of horrible things. Now is where Moon Blizzard is going to bring this back around, because with life 2, Ayla is going to come up probably at full health. And Lavos himself won't be vulnerable until he uses Obstacle. So in this short period of time, after the arms drop but before the body wakes up, you can use that for support.
And now it is deal as much damage as you can before Shadow Doomblaze.
Indeed. Lavos 2's big attack is called Shadow Doomblaze, and it's about as bad as it sounds. He will actually follow an exact pattern. So when he wakes up, he will always start with Obstacle, and then he'll use that poison move that we saw, Shadow Slay, and then he'll use Flame Battle, which is like a Fire 1 attack, basically. And then he'll use Shadow Doomblaze. So that's the time you've got to do the damage. Now, the good news is, well, if you can't get him down before Shadow Doomblaze, but you can survive Shadow Doomblaze, he actually wastes several turns before powering up and eventually hitting you again, so you do get a decent chunk of time after that, and he only has like 10,000 HP. So if you don't think he will die by Shadow Doomblaze, focus on surviving it, and then you should be able to get through by just like pushing as much damage as you can. Obstacle hitting SVJ harder than he would like, I'm sure. And Moon Blizzard's going to be going for a menu glitch here. That is obviously not supposed to be a time you can open the menu, but it basically has to do with the game dropping the battle flags, and between battles you're technically in the field and you can open the menu if your timing is good. And in fact, if you think the menu glitch is hard, that is absolutely one of the things we'll be here to help you with if you want to come join us at Camp Specchio next week. But it is very helpful because Lavos hits hard, and healing between fights and even changing your equipment, as we see Moon Blizzard doing, can be very clutch. Question in chat, do you think Falcon hit as a left bit strat? It probably could be.
It would deal damage to left bit and center bit.
Yeah. I would be curious to see how much center takes from it, because center's where most of the damage is, and you have to be really careful with center, but I mean, I almost never have it available just because, you know, you have to have the right team with the right techs, but it'd be interesting to see. Okay, so Moon Blizzard has taken out the center bit. So at this point, that's good. That's pretty safe, especially since we see that Millennial Fair background. That means that Lavos was about to come out with a bunch of random status effects, and that's a bad time. So, getting that center bit down pretty quick can be very, very key. And then the next thing you have to do is wait for the right bit, which is the real Lavos, to drop its defense, which I believe it has done.
It has done. Moon
Yeah.
is using this time for setup.
Yep. Setting up everybody with haste so he can just final kick that thing to death. Meanwhile, SVJ getting hit by the Doors of Doom. Doing a final kick, which will absolutely kill one of the arms. But that will probably take her out. You know, it's interesting, actually. I don't necessarily think one of these strategies is better than the other, but I usually heal before the boomerangs come out from the arms. Let that happen, and then I go crazy the next turn and can usually get both of them. And I've noticed that a lot of people seem to prefer to kill one and only take one hit, which I guess it works too.
Yeah, and it's really whatever you are comfortable with.
Yeah.
What works for you.
Yeah, because I think if you take out one arm and then take the other hit, you still often have some cleanup healing to do, so I don't necessarily know that one or the other is faster so much as just, I don't know, whatever's convenient, right?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, because I think that freeze does damage too, and that will... Oh, it didn't kill her. Okay.
Didn't kill her, but stopped her.
Yep. Meanwhile, Moonblizzard is just final kicking his way to victory. As soon as that thing shuts its defense back off, I haven't been counting, but I won't be surprised if this is it. He's doing just a little under 4,000 with each hit, which means he should have needed 6 of those, I think. So... And yeah, it is unfortunate that... Oh, GG, Moonblizzard. It is unfortunate that his final kick was only doing 3,900, because of course one can understand that with 20,000 HP, that nice round 4,000, there's your 5 hits. But yeah, amazing job by Moonblizzard. And it's probably already up, but a flash warning for anyone who is still watching. For the record, we have spoken to the devs about the flashing after Lavos, and it's apparently, like, really freaking buried in the code. So what I will say is we know that that's kind of a problem, and I promise we're trying. Shadow Slay on SVJ's side. The nice thing about Shadow Slay is if people get put to sleep or whatever by obstacle, Shadow Slay can wake them up.
And Moonblizzard's official time was 1:52:55.
Very nice. Alright. And Lavos Phase 2 is done.
And here's Moonblizzard.
Hello, GG.
Hello. Thank you.
Oh, so tell us about that race. How did that seed make you feel overall?
Well, I think it was a really good seed, considering that we had like a great body right from the start. We unlocked like final kick really early on. Ice Chill, haste was there. After going to the future and heading back, getting the seal chest with a lot of good equipment. We saw prism dresses, silver studs helped a lot. Yeah, I think my routing was like all over the place. I think I kind of regret doing some things, but by the end, I think it all turned out well. I was like level 30 before the grind fight. I was like, well, let's just run away.
Yeah, we took notice of that. We figured you wouldn't grind at all, and that was the thing to do. Because in fact, that's exactly where you took the lead back. So.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
your trip to Jerky stopped you for a little while.
Uh-huh.
SVJ did not go that far
Ah,
at all.
wow. Yeah, I was kind of worried because I did like Genodome. I was like, I'm not doing Genoscape because I actually want like a couple of levels more because I was getting like lapises and hyper ethers and all. I was not. I was like, I don't even want to try it because if I fail, maybe it's going to set me back even more. And I don't know what's here in Genodome. And like I'm gambling, so. And I saw the jerky and I was like, oh, that's like 15, 20 minutes wasted. I need to get this back somehow. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to run away and try to, I mean, get the time back.
Yep. Well, but all those extra checks certainly helped you be at a high level and have gear, and yeah, you just got through Tyranno and Ocean Palace.
Yeah, I was worried about my final kick at the last fight because it was like 3.9 something damage.
Yeah, we were like, oh, I couldn't hit the 4.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to finish the core, the center, because I don't want to like, have a chance it's not going to work out. And but overall, I think it was a good level fight. The first one was okay. Obstacle was sleep. Final kick is a really fast tech. I think it's a really good tech because it's really fast, so you don't have actually
Yeah.
to worry too much about animation time.
That's very true. It does have a short animation, and like anything with triple kick in it is pretty much automatically good.
For sure. And what was the route Saint Von Jester did? I'm kind of curious.
So largely the same, but in a different order, basically. I think he did a
Oh.
couple fewer checks. He doesn't have Moonstone or Jerky, and he's got the other sword piece from you, looks like. Oh, he didn't go to Giant's Claw either. I mean, honestly, he was quite a bit ahead, but he spent a lot of time at the grind spot, and that's when you passed him. And
I see. Yeah, that's why I mean when I try Gamble Genodome, I'm like I'm not going to grind. That's the condition. Let's say, if we do Genodome, it's okay if we just skip the grind.
Yeah, agreed. And that's what's nice about checks like Genodome or Mount Woe too. The more levels that you gain, yeah.
What was on Mount Woe?
I don't know, as I have not looked at the spoiler log, and SVJ didn't go, but I'm sure someone can tell us real quick here.
Yeah,
because
I'm sure
now we're
someone
curious.
Can say.
Oh, it's the Bent Hilt. Okay. So oh no, that's the Grand Leon on the tracker, not the Bent Hilt. Okay.
So SVG found the Dreamstone right before me.
Yeah, he found it. Gosh, it might have even been a little bit before you. Like, your go mode was that clean. That's that's what did it.
Yeah, you ran from a lot of fights, Moon, whereas SVJ got into extra fights.
Speaking of SVJ, GG's. We're gonna get that official time from the race room in just a second. Flash warning number 2. As I say, when the flash is already up, because like half the time I just like click to another window or close my emulator when I get this far, so I forget. All right, an official time of 1:58:52. GG.
So I was actually behind in the golem spot.
Yeah, it's definitely I'm saying this because it's a lesson that I know I personally had to learn very hard, but you want to grind so that Lavos isn't as hard, but like that grind spot takes so much time and it feels less than it does. So that's the big thing. But I mean, that said, SVJ is like 4.6k final kicks were those I'm sure those felt really good. So.
Yeah. Always. Yeah, there's the downside of like grinding a little more than necessary because it's kind of risky.
And GG, SVJ.
Thank you.
GG.
I found the blue rock moon lizard.
Oh, mission accomplished. Mission
Yes.
accomplished. And I was like, we can't actually use the blue rock because Luca, Magus, and Robo, they're not here.
Well, I'm assuming you didn't finish Cathedral either.
Nope.
I did not.
Nobody finished Cathedral. This was like Team Anti-Blue Rock Seed.
I got Final Kick. I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you both were using Final Kick to good effect. Final Kick is great. Honestly, any like triple tech that has triple kick in it, don't sleep on that ever. Final Kick, Gatling Kick, whatever the other ones are. They're all really good, honestly.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Share with us your
Yes.
thoughts about the seed and your
How did you
routing.
feel?
So I decided to play around a little bit. I'm sorry, and I was kind of dancing around Fritz. Like, should I save him? Should I not save him?
I may have theorized that you were doing that to toy with me personally.
Ended up saving him. So. But I found the pendant. I found the pendant and I got Ayla and I went straight to the freaking trial.
Yep.
And then I wiped on Son of Sun. Made me sad.
Oh.
I should have used that barrier and I didn't use the barrier. Like,
yeah. He went to Son of Sun. SVJ went to Son of Sun a little earlier than you did, Moon, and I think that's why he had a little more struggle. Like you guys, Min Blizzard did a few more checks, but largely you guys took the same route, just in a different order.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I know,
mode and, yeah.
I know Moon Blizzard's way more comfortable at the lower levels for Lavos, and I was just like, I gotta get my 31, you know, and it's just,
yeah.
and,
I mean, that's what did it. That is where he passed you. Actually, you were first to get go mode, and you were ahead until the grind spot.
Yeah, I mean, I just, especially with the Siren not stopping that golem, I was just like,
yeah,
really, it did not work.
I've tried twice. Then I was like, nope, I'm just gonna do the rotating method, and I did the same thing. I did the same thing with Golem Twins. I was like, I'm not even trying the Siren. I'm just gonna go Falcon hit, Ice 2, Falcon hit, Ice 2, Falcon hit, Ice 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I got some. I recovered some time in that fight because the Siren worked right away.
Yeah, mine wasn't
against the both. Yeah, against both of them, and then final kick, like 2 final kicks for killing each of them. That was
yeah. I couldn't chance the final kick with the Siren not the RNG Siren not working properly. So I was like, no, I'm happy with that time. You know, 158 is really good, especially against one of the best. So you know, I probably could have ground a little bit less. You know, ground to just 29 and get on there at 32. I had the idea of just, you know, going to 29 or so, and then methodically, slowly taking down Lavos, slowly taking down the Golem Twins, slowly taking down, you know, Lavos 2. You know, I had a plan in mind, you know, and I probably could have achieved it with that party, with that gear, 2 prisms dresses, and a white mail.
Yeah, there are some circumstances that we can like try to go for lower levels when we have like really good gear, like triple tech such as final kick. maybe it's possible.
I mean, my Falcon hit was doing great damage too, so it was just like,
yeah,
I had everything I needed. I'm just, honestly, man, I've played this game for a long time, still not comfortable, and I don't know how to best do that. I'm just like, I would be pulling my hair out on Lavos too if I got,
I know.
You know. But I mean, like I said, I one shot of the left arm, and took my time on that right arm there just to make sure I had my party set up ready to go. Kicked out the right arm, and then Chrono didn't eat glasses today. Those sunshades at the end, that was a very nice, you know, relaxing. Yes. I thought about trying to steal a pair, but I was like,
actually, I decided to go with what? You what?
I thought about, after killing one, I was like, I was gonna do just like you said, triple kick, final kicks on one of each, but I was like, because I could have with the blue mail and the 2 prism dresses, I could have just, you know, taken that Ice 2, right? But you know, Ice 2, you know,
and then I actually decided to go with Gold Stud instead of the Sunshades just to make sure. I was like worried about having to MP Ayla anyway, so like, now let's go with the Gold Stud.
No, I was happy that obstacle was sleep. You know, I was like, cool. Okay, Lavos 2 is easy. I just wait for them to wake up with
yeah, that was
poison. They get poisoned. Great. That's more damage. So
yep.
But yeah, it was a fun seed.
It was a good race.
You know,
Yeah, GG to both of you.
Yeah, I was like, he hasn't finished yet. Why hasn't he finished yet? What's going on?
No, it was fairly close. Moon had like a 152 something, I think.
152. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like I said.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
6 minutes behind, I'm okay with it.
For some reason, that hurts less than 7 seconds, doesn't it? I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone. I'm never getting over that.
I lost by 5 seconds once, and I know how what the feeling is.
Yeah, it's always just like, ah! But yeah, no, do you guys have any final thoughts on the seed before I charge forward and plug Camp Specchio again?
Thank you all. Thank you, SpeedGaming, Ako Hayes, Lord Betsy, everyone involved. Mianas, thank Mianas tracking. Everyone.
Thank you, actually. So
Rifrix.
Thank you, Rifrix.
Okay, thank you, Rifrix. Yes. And thank you, Sons von Jasper, for playing with me today again.
Thank you. Anytime, man. I have no problem losing in this game over and over again. I love this game. This game is great. For everyone watching, Camp Specchio, Lord Betsy's going to promote in a minute. Oh my god. This is an amazing rando. And if you do like randomizers, you will like this one, I promise.
Yeah, so if you would like to learn this randomizer, we're starting a program starting next week. So we're going to have a live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on July 3rd. And yes, all of this information is going to be in text in the Discord. So if you don't remember what I'm saying, that's okay. We are going to start with a standard race seed, just like the one, very similar to the one you just saw played. And we're going to start going through a 6-week program for each stage of Specchio, of course. And we're going to teach lots of the different categories. We're going to be teaching a lot of the different techniques and help you learn skips. We've got a bunch of people ready to help. We're going to do live streams. We're going to have async races so that you can plot your own progress. Anything you want to learn, let us know. Just come in and join our Discord. There is a channel for Camp Specchio where all the information is going to be. And actually, I'm teaching the first week, so next Sunday, you're stuck with me. Yay! But we got lots. No, it'll be fine. But we have lots of different expert players teaching different categories, so you're going to be learning from a lot of different experts. I think it's going to be really good, and we're hoping, if you want to just play casually, if you want to be racing, if you want to be tournament ready, that's all of this is what we're hoping to cover. So please come join us.
Amazing! Congratulations! Let's go.
Thank you. But yeah, we're really excited. So we're gonna be having that stream on our Twitch channel next Sunday, and then you'll have all the information from there. So yeah, everyone please come. We would really love to have more players. And this is a really fun randomizer. But yeah, I think that's the plug.
Good plug.
All right. Thank you.
Great one.
Yeah, anything from anyone else before we sign off?
I'm good. That was fun.
I'm good, yeah.
Thank you.
That was fun. Make sure to join in for the Camp Specchio.
Yes. Yes, please do. All right. So we will hopefully see everybody next week for Camp Specchio. We will possibly also see you guys next week for a race, but we haven't scheduled it yet. But we hopefully will have another one. Until then, everybody have a wonderful evening.
See you next time.
See you all. Thank you.
Good night.
Good evening.